you ever wondered why so many houses in the United States are made of wood, while across much of Europe, homes are built with bricks, stone, or concrete? At first glance, it seems strange. Wood burns, bricks don't. So why would one of the world's wealthiest countries build millions of homes from what seems like the weaker material? The answer has very little to do with money alone. It involves history, geography, disasters, forests, labor, and even the way entire cities were rebuilt after wars. And by the end of this video, you'll see that neither side is necessarily doing it wrong. They're simply solving different problems. Let's explore it right here on Zentino Facts. If you travel through a typical American suburb, you'll notice something surprising. Most houses are built using wooden frames covered with drywall, insulation, and siding. To someone from Europe, Africa, or parts of Asia, these homes can almost look temporary, yet many of them last well over 100 years when properly maintained. Meanwhile, if you walk through cities in countries like Germany, France, Italy, or the United Kingdom, you'll find homes built from brick, stone, or concrete that have stood for centuries. So why did these two regions evolve so differently? The story begins with one simple resource: trees. When European settlers arrived in North America, they encountered something almost unimaginable: vast forests stretching for thousands of kilometers. Wood was everywhere. It was abundant, cheap, and easy to replace. Instead of spending weeks making bricks or quarrying stone, settlers could simply cut down nearby trees and build an entire house much faster. Speed mattered. People were constantly expanding westward, establishing new towns and farms. Entire communities needed homes quickly. Wood became the obvious choice. Europe had a very different history. By the Middle Ages, much of Europe's ancient forests had already been heavily harvested for fuel, ships, farming, and construction. Large supplies of timber became less available in many regions. Instead, builders increasingly relied on clay bricks and locally available stone. Over hundreds of years, masonry construction became deeply rooted in European architecture. But natural resources were only part of the story. The climate also played a major role. Much of the United States experiences frequent earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, and shifting soils. Here's where wood has an unexpected advantage. Wood is flexible. During an earthquake, a wooden frame can bend and absorb movement instead of cracking apart. Bricks and stone are extremely strong under compression, but are also brittle. When shaken violently, they can crack or collapse if they're not specially reinforced. Modern engineering has solved many of these problems with reinforced concrete and steel, but for ordinary residential homes, wood remains highly practical. Then there's cost. Building a wooden house is usually much faster. Many parts are manufactured in factories, delivered to the site, and assembled within weeks. That dramatically reduces labor costs. In Europe, masonry construction often requires more skilled workers, more time, and higher labor expenses. Labor costs in many European countries are already high, making traditional masonry even more expensive. America's housing market also values speed. Builders often construct entire neighborhoods of hundreds of homes in just a few months. Wooden framing makes that possible. Insurance also plays a role. Many people assume wooden homes are impossible to insure because of fire risk, but modern homes include smoke detectors, fire-resistant drywall, sprinkler systems in some areas, and strict electrical standards. While wood can burn, today's building codes greatly reduce the danger. Ironically, many modern fires start because of electrical faults or household items, regardless of whether the walls are wood or brick. One of the biggest reasons Europe favors brick and concrete comes from a devastating chapter in history. During the Second World War, countless European cities were destroyed by bombing. When reconstruction began, governments wanted stronger, longer-lasting buildings. Concrete and brick became the preferred materials. Many countries also introduced stricter building standards that encouraged masonry construction. Meanwhile, the United States never experienced widespread destruction of its cities during the war. There was no need to rebuild entire neighborhoods from scratch using different materials. The existing tradition of wooden construction simply continued. Another interesting difference lies inside the walls. American homes often have hollow walls filled with insulation. This makes it easier to install electrical wiring, plumbing, heating ducts, and internet cables. Repairs and renovations are also simpler. In many European homes with solid brick or concrete walls, adding new wiring or plumbing can require drilling or cutting through masonry, making renovations slower and more expensive. Then there's energy efficiency. Many people believe brick houses naturally stay warmer. The truth is more complicated. Brick stores heat well because of its thermal mass. Wood, on the other hand, is naturally a better insulator. Modern American homes rely on thick layers of insulation inside wooden walls, allowing them to remain extremely energy efficient despite their lightweight structure. Both systems can perform very well when designed properly. The biggest difference is how they achieve that performance. Now let's talk about durability. There's a common belief that wooden houses only last a few decades, but that's simply not true. Thousands of wooden homes across the United States have been standing since the 1800s. Some are over 200 years old. Likewise, Europe has brick buildings that have survived for centuries. Longevity depends less on the material itself and more on maintenance, climate, and construction quality. Poorly maintained brick can fail. Well-maintained wood can last generations. Each material has strengths and weaknesses. Wood is lightweight, flexible, fast to build, easier to modify, and often less expensive. Brick and stone are incredibly durable, resistant to insects, and require less routine maintenance. Neither is universally better. They're optimized for different environments and different histories. As global housing continues to evolve, we're beginning to see these traditions blend together. Engineered wood products are becoming stronger than ever before. At the same time, modern concrete technologies are becoming more energy efficient. Architects are increasingly combining wood, steel, concrete, and advanced insulation into hybrid designs that capture the advantages of each. So the next time you see an American wooden house or a centuries-old European brick home, remember this: their walls tell a story shaped by forests and quarries, by wars and migrations, by earthquakes, economics, and changing technology. They're not just different ways of building houses, they're different solutions to different challenges. And that's what makes architecture one of the most fascinating reflections of human history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating stories that reveal the hidden reasons behind the world around you. Thanks for watching.